Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter Algebra. We are already working on the lesson. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Let's just start with the lesson. Here I am on grade 10 math. Let's just start with the lesson algebra. We're going to start with the lesson that is solve linear equations. Let's just start with the lesson. Solve for h. You are given h plus 4 equals 10. You have to evaluate it for the h, right? That means you need to isolate the variable h. So you need to move the positive 4 on the other side because you need to isolate the variable h only, right? You have to subtract 4 both sides. So 4 minus 4 is 0 on this side, and here 10 minus 4 equals 6. That means h equals 6. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, solve for q. 2q minus negative 6 equals 10, right? You have to solve this question for q. So that is 2q minus negative 6 equal 10, right? Subtracting a negative number is same as adding, so that is 2q plus 6 equals 10, right? Now you have to evaluate, isolate the variable q because you need to calculate the value of q. So just subtract both sides by 6, right? So 6 minus 6, you are left with 2q, and 10 minus 6 is 4. Now you have to calculate the value of q only, so divide both sides by 2. So that is q equals to, the correct option is 2. Q equals to, so the correct option is q equals to, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Okay, the next one is solve for d. That is d plus 3 over 4 equals 3, right? You need to evaluate the value of d. So first thing is you need to isolate the variable d. First, you need to move that 4 other side because 4 is dividing here. So opposite to division is multiplication. Multiply both sides by 4. 4 and 4 cancel out. You are left with d plus 3 equals 12. Here you have positive 3. That means you need to subtract 3 both sides. So that is 12 minus 3. 3 minus 3, 0, and d equals 9. The correct option is d equals 9. Got it? So the correct option is d equals 9. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, solve for c. C divided by 3 equals 2, which is the correct option. The correct option is yes, that is C equals 6. The correct option is option number 2, that is C equals 6. Solve for z divided by 3 plus 15 equals 11. So the correct option is solve for z, which is the correct option. The correct option is that is negative 12. The correct option is z equal negative 12. Solve for r. That is 6. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is solve systems of linear equations. Let's just start with the lesson, that is solve system of linear equations, right? Okay, solve this system of equations by graphing. First graph the equations, then type the solution, right? Okay, you are given two of the equations, x plus y equals 3 and x equals 5, right? So for the second equation, x equals 5, here is 5. So you have a make line, you have to make a straight line on x equals 5 like this, right? This is for the second equation. For the first equation, x plus y equals 3. Let's just evaluate the x-intercept and the y-intercept. For x-intercept, let's just put y equals 0 in the equation. So that is x equals 3. So when x equals 3, y is 0. Now for the y-intercept, put x equals 0 in the equation. So that is when x equals 0, y is 3, right? So now you have to use these 2 points and make a line. So x is 0, y is 3. Here it is. And now the second one is x is 3 and y is 0. Here it is. So just join these points and make a line, and here is the line. That is the point of intersection of both the lines, and I don't know that is that exact point because I just made the line. So that is x is 5 and y is -2. I think that is the solution of the system, 5 and -2, right? Let's just see the answer. 5 -2. Yes, see, here is the solution, that is 5 and -2. They did exactly the same way I did. First of all, here is the straight line for x equals 5. Then for this first equation, you have to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Here you can see by putting the x-intercept and y-intercept, you can make a line. So when you plot these both lines on the same graph, that is the point of intersection, and the point of intersection is 5 and -2. Be very careful when working on the graphs, because I'm working on the board, I can't make the straight line, so that's why I am not sure about my answer, right? But I got the correct answers. Okay, solve the system of equations by graphing. First graph the equations and then type the solution. So you have to graph these equations and type the solution. The second one is y equals 2. So let's just make a straight line on y equals 2. Here is y equals 2, right? It is like this. Okay, now y minus 6 equals 2x, -2x. You have to find x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let's just put for x-intercept, let's just replace the equation with y equals 0, right? That is 0 minus 6 equals -2x. Divide both sides by -2, and that is x equals 3. So when x equals 3, y is 0, right? Now replace the x equals 0. Y minus 6 equals -2 times 0. So 0 times 0 is 0. You are left with y minus 6 equals 0 and y equals 6. So that is when x is 0, y is 6. Now just make a line for these 2 points, right? X is 3, y is 0. Here it is. X is 0, y is 6. Here it is. Just join these 2 points and make a straight line, right? So here is the point of intersection. I'm not sure if that is exactly point. That is 2, and 2 is the correct option, right? Let's just see if we have the same point on the graph. 2, 2. Yes, that is option number 2 is the correct option. 2 is the correct option, right? Solve this system of equation by graphing. First graph the equations, then type the solution, right? So for both the equations, now you have to do exactly the same thing. You need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept for both the equation, right? Start with the first one. That is x plus y minus 1 equals 0. You can rewrite it x plus y equals 1. So when x equals 0, y equals 1, right? So you have the 2 points, x is 0, y is 1. Now let's just replace y equals 0, right? So x plus 0 equals 1, so that means x equal 1. So when x is 1, y is 0, you have 2 points now, 1, 0 and 0, 1. Okay, now just look at the second equation, that is -6x plus 6y equals -18. Start with x equals 0. This is 0. 6y equals -18, y equals -3. So the first point is 0, -3, right? For the second one, put y equals 0, -6x plus 0 equals -18, and x equals 3, right? So that is 3 and 0. So you have 2 points, right? The 2 points are x is 0, y is -3. So x is 0, y negative 3, here it is. And x is 3, y is 0, here it is. So their point of intersection must be, this is their point of intersection, where x is 2 and y is negative 1. This is the point of intersection. 2 and negative 1 is the solution of the system, right? The correct option is 2, negative 1. So the correct option is 2 and negative 1. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? The next one is x minus y equals negative 4 and y equals 6, right? Okay, so y equals 6, you have a line over here. No, y equals 6. This is y equals 6. Okay, when x is 0, y is 4. When y is 0, x is negative 4. So these are 2 points for the first equation. X is 0, y is 4. When x is 0, y is negative 4. So just join these 2 points and make a straight line. I think that is the point of intersection, that is 3 and 6, right? X equals 3, y is 6 is the solution of the system, that is 3 and 6, right? 2, 6 it is, right? Not 2, 3, 6, right? The correct option is 2 and 6. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is, okay, the next lesson is solve quadratic equations. Let's just start with the next lesson, that is solve quadratic equations, right? Let's just start with the test questions. You can have a look on the one that are already solved, right? So that is 86j square plus 100, right? So 86j square plus 100j. You can take common 4, no, 2j from here, right? And you're left with 43j plus 50, because j is already outside, right? Now you need to equate them with 0 because that are equal to 0. So you have 2j equal to 0 and 43j plus 50 equals 0. So from here you have j equals 0, and from here you need to move 50 other side, that would be negative 50, and j equals negative 50 over 43. So you have two answers for the j. They are j equals 0 and j equals negative 50 over 43, right? The correct option is negative 50 over 43. The correct option is option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, so the correct option is option number 1, that is 0 and negative 50 over 43. The next one is 27w cubed plus 90w plus 75 equals 0. So, which is the correct option? You have to solve this. For w, you can use either the, I forgot the name of the formula, that is quadratic formula, or either you can evaluate the equation, right? Okay, let's just see. We have 3 common. So you're left with 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times 30, and 3 times 25, right? Now let's just factor out the equation. 25 times 9 is, hold on, 225, right? So that is 9w square plus 30w plus 25. So 25 times 9 is, no, hold on. And they using, oh, that is completing square, I forgot. Okay, this is the 3 square, 3w square, and this is the 5 square, and this is plus 2, 3w and 5, right? So that means that is 3w plus 5 whole square equals 0, right? So when you square root both sides, 2 and square root cancel out, you are left with 3w plus 5 equals 0. Move 5 other side, so that is negative 5, and w equals negative 5 over 3. The correct option is negative 5 over 3. Got it? The correct option is negative 5 over 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? Okay, the next one is u square plus 10u minus 24. For this one, you have to factorize this equation, right? That is u square plus 10u minus 24. So to make the factors that when multiplied makes negative 24 and that when added makes 10, right? So that is plus 12 and minus 2, right? That is u square plus 12u minus 2 minus 24 equals 0. From here you have u common, u plus, from here you have minus 2 common, u plus 12, right? So that is u minus 2 and u plus 12 equals 0, right? So u equals negative 2 and u equals positive 2 and u equals negative 12. The correct option is 2 and negative 12 is the correct option. That is option number 1, right? The correct option is option number 1, that is 2 and negative 12. Option 1 is the correct option. Okay, the next one is k square plus 12k plus 36. So which is the, solve the question and write the correct option in the chat box. Yes, the correct option is negative 6. It is right. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is negative 6. Okay, the next one is solve 196 f square plus 28 f plus 1. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is that is negative 1 over 14. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? That is negative 1 over 14. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, and the next lesson is that is solve linear inequalities. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, the first one is negative 12j plus 154 greater than negative 2, right? So just well, isolate the table j, that is negative 12j plus 154 minus 154. You can cancel out. Negative 12j is less than negative 156, right? Divide both sides by 12 now. That cancel out, you are left with j is less than 13. The correct option is j is less than 13, right? That is j is less than 13. Option number 1 is the correct option. The next one is solve for n. 48 is greater than equal to 6 times n minus 156. So which is the correct option? That is n is less than equal to 173. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is P is greater than negative 44. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? That is D is less than equal to 102. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? The correct option is F is less than equal to 115. Option number 2 is the correct option. B divided by 12 plus 18 is greater than 24, which is the correct option. The correct option is B is greater than 72. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. The next one is solve for B. So, which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1, that is B is greater than equal to 97, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. The chapter we were working on is algebra, and the lessons we have covered today are solve linear equations, solve systems of linear, solve quadratic equations, and solve linear equation inequalities, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that will be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So if you have any questions related to the lessons we have just covered, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any.